Hare Krishna. Please accept our most humble obeisances. We are celebrating the 17th Disappearance anniversary of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And we're also celebrating his life of love and service to Srila Prabhupada and his instructions that are going to continue to be with us for a very long time. We keep hearing that spiritual life is not limited by time, place, circumstance, and we all experience this in some way or the other. Like, for example, in our relationship with Srila Prabhupada, although many of us have not met Srila Prabhupada personally, but we do experience that despite his physical absence, he is present in our lives. But some of us have been very fortunate to experience this limitlessness of spiritual life, of Krishna consciousness, in relation to a very special devotee of the Lord, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. 2 years ago, when I felt that he holds a very important place in my heart, my first emotion was lamentation, separation, that, oh no, he's not here, he's left, now how will I meet him? And I'll never be able to meet him. But slowly I started realizing that this is actually a very beautiful spiritual experience we are getting to have in the form of the separation. So some of us are here today to share with you our journeys, our experiences in how we feel His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj's presence in our lives.
My wife Keli Manjari Dasi and I are disciples of His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj. So we are here to honor the disappearance day of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who I have never physically met. Dear Uncle TKG, when I used to visit our ISKCON Houston temple, I recall touching your picture every time I bowed to Srila Prabhupada. I did not know much about you. In 2011, I visited ISKCON Dallas to attend the Vyasa Puja of my spiritual master, while still aspiring for initiation. I recall visiting your room dedicated to you and offering obeisances to you. After I returned from Dallas, I developed an urge to learn about you, and I obtained your recorded lectures. When I heard you speak, I became overwhelmed with emotions. I found myself in tears more than once. Your words were extremely powerful and carried so much weight. After framing your picture on my altar, I prayed to you to be awarded Diksha by Srila Gurudeva. June 21, 2013 was Panihati, the most important day of my life, ISKCON Laguna Beach, California. Strangely enough, I saw your younger brother, Sri Kalachanji Prabhu, in Laguna Beach. I was confused and speechless, as he was there for the same reason I was, wondering for so many years when I would receive Diksha. Uncle TKG, you spoke to me and simultaneously humbled me. How coincidental was it that both of us were sitting at the yagna with a different picture of you? I even remember your name was invoked during the fire sacrifice. It was simply unbelievable. My spiritual master once said that there's no such thing as a coincidence in Krishna consciousness. Uncle TKG, thank you for being present at the yagna and for being a dear part of our spiritual lives. I also recall that my spiritual master once asked you that if there's only one thing, what's that most important thing in Krishna consciousness? And you replied to him that it's undoubtedly Guru Nishta, or faith in the spiritual master. If you don't have faith in your Guru, then how can you have faith in his instructions? So Uncle TKG's mercy is boundless, well after his disappearance, just like Srila Prabhupada. If you don't know Uncle TKG, you can access his mercy by visiting our Dallas temple that was so dear to him. I once heard His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj say that Uncle TKG resides there. You can also visit his Pushpa Samadhi at Govardhan while on Vrindavan Yatra. And most importantly, you can perform Shravanam, or listen to his invigorating lectures.
So I came across Tamal Krishna Maharaj's lectures during my college years, and I started listening to them, and his Vani was so powerful that totally changed my consciousness and really transformed my heart. Many people are responsible for making me into devotee, but Tamal Krishna Maharaj gave me that final push which I needed to get into bhakti. His compassion, just like Srila Prabhupada, he carried that same compassion with him wherever he went. And by his personal example, he taught others also to do the same. His authoritativeness in his lectures and faith in scripture is what attracted me towards him. He was also very loving and caring towards all his devotees and his well-wishers. Although Tamal Krishna Maharaj is not present among us today in his physical form, his Vani is still there. And I think anyone who listens to his Vani will certainly make a lot of progress in devotional life.
As a Chinese millennial, I grew up in an environment where people usually don't talk about God. But I was very fortunate to get the chance to study in the US. Someday, somehow, I happened to walk into the temple in Houston, Texas. And one day, I got a book from a devotee. Later, I found this devotee is one of Srila Gurudev's disciple, Sarvabhauma Prabhu. He gave me this book, Yoga for the New Millennium. When I opened this book, I was deeply touched by these words on the first page, dedicated to the people of China. When I read these words, I knew there should be a reason for me to read this book. And when I started reading, I just couldn't stop because I really felt I shared some similar experience with this character created by Srila Gurudev, this young man, Li Kuan-shu, who came all the way from China to the US for study, but found something even more meaningful in his life. Later, he went back to China and started a journey to India. I constantly wonder why it was me who got this chance to read this book here in Houston, Texas. And I always felt I knew Srila Gurudev, even if I've never seen him. And when I finished my study in the US, I had to go back to China. I knew the future was unknown, but the only thing I can bring home is Krishna consciousness. Recently, I had my journey to India. I went to Srila Gurudev's Samadhi. I stayed there alone for quite a bit. I looked at his picture. I talked to him. I knew he was also looking at me, maybe lovingly, and he was listening to me carefully, and he will always guide me to love Lord Krishna more and more. And I know he will always be with us.
In 2012, with a small video that is for competitors, with that small video, I come to know about Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj. I like this person very much. I don't know anything about Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj, but with that, after watching this video, I like his way of explanation, his philosophy, his staunch faith on Prabhupada and ISKCON. He's a very tremendous and wonderful person. And later, in 2014, by Krishna's grace, by Prabhupada's grace, I come to know about tkgtm.com, Tech Ministry. I heard all the lectures in memoriam, and since that time I had been in contact with Sri Gurudev's disciples. I like his lectures very much. By his lectures, I feel his presence. I never met him, but I took his shelter by his Vani. I heard him every day, and I feel very protected in the presence of him. I'm trying to follow his instructions as he says. I would like to walk whatever he says, and I would like to say a big thank you to Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj to show your mercy on these fallen souls. Thank you.
In my journey of lamenting and crying in separation from Gurudev and coming to the point of feeling his presence in the form of service, there were different phases, and I found that He is not just limited to his samadhi. He's not just limited to his disciples in whose hearts he lives. He's not just limited to his headquarters in Dallas or in his lectures and the instructions and the books he left behind. He is in all of this, but I found that he is in all of this and so much more. I realized that I was looking for him with the wrong eyes. I was looking for him in his physical form. But the moment I realized that I have to close these eyes and I started looking for him with the eyes of love and service, I immediately could see that he is still so present. So this Disappearance Day, let us not just celebrate his reunion with Srila Prabhupada and his life of unfathomable service, but let us also celebrate his eternality in our lives and in our hearts.
His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.